Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to the first Monday of August. It's August 3rd. Glad you're able to join us. Hey, Friday, we had some technical difficulties with all this rain and stuff. Our internet's been in and out here, both at the house and at the office. So a little struggle on Friday. Hopefully today we'll make it through. And, hey, we'll talk about the numbers for the market, how well they did in July, and what we can expect going forward. Thanks for joining us. I hope that you'll stick around. Dave and I will be on just a second.
Point here. I'm Phillip, Statler, and I are on the phone trying to figure out together what the Sam Hill's going on. By the time we get done, we generally have a pretty good idea. And then we share it with you every morning about this time. It is time to check in on Wall Street and see what's going on to your finances today. And we're going to head down to Statler Financial Services, downtown Sebring. I didn't ask, but Phillip, Statler, are you at home this morning or at the office?
Yeah, I'm at home right now, getting ready to go to the office once I get off the phone with you. But, yep, I'm here at the house, the home office, talking to you, and then I'll head to the office.
All righty. Yeah, when we first started our conversation off the air, you and I both noted that we had a major turnaround. Things were in the red this morning. My network news at 6 a.m. was saying the Dow futures are off this morning. About an hour and a half ago, I looked at my charts, and I said, boy, something is making them take off this morning, because there was a big turn starting about 6 a.m., wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. And the question is, what was that? And I'm not real sure, other than you pointed out, there's some drug companies that think that they're really, really close to coming up with the vaccine. So that would be good news, because it sure is not what's happening on Capitol Hill, because they can't get their stuff together.
Now, we kind of got a war between two pressures on stock prices this week. Number one, if you hadn't caught up with it, folks, the bailout package to extend unemployment comp and add some money to our pockets in reflection of the crappy economic reports we got last week for the gross domestic product is tied up. The Republicans had offered the Democrats a week or two extension on the unemployment comp in order to keep checks going to people. Democrats said no, all or nothing. They blocked that proposal. The Republicans are blocking a more generous Democratic proposal to pile money into our pocketbooks, and the Democrats are blocking Republican proposals to protect businesses that put their employees back to work and they get sick. And it's generally, I've got a lot of uncomplimentary terms for the situation I can't use on the radio, Phillip, but we'll let people fill in the names themselves. Fair enough?
Fair enough, buddy. Fair enough. It is, yeah, hopefully before they go on recess, they will iron something out and get it to the president to sign.
Absolutely. The optimistic forces that are pushing the markets up this morning is AbbVie, Amgen, and Takeda. All three drug companies have announced they're at a final trials for what they say is a COVID-19 treatment. I'm not clear whether this is final testing for more vaccines or whether we're talking about a treatment. The cool part about treatments is they might go a little bit faster than a vaccine, because you don't need to double check for a long-term effect on it. Just find out, does the patient get better? Any side effects? Oh, no? Cool. Put it on the market, right?
Then it works, right? So, yeah, Eli Lilly's part of that, too. They've begun a late-stage study for one of their experimental antibody treatments to help prevent the spread of the virus.
All of that could be good news. So we kind of have two pressures, the optimism that happens every time we get a good drug company announcement, and the pressures of, oh, crud, Washington's got their fingers in a dark place again. It just, nothing is certain as to what could go on this morning on Wall Street, because, well, the earnings reports are a little on the light side too, aren't they?
They are this morning. There's a lot of stuff that comes out after the market closes today, but before the market, not much. Just a few household names have come through.
Understood. The one bit of tidbit that I had, and this one kind of made me sit up and take notice, one of the cruise lines that operates out of Norway, I'm avoiding meticulously the phrase the Norwegian cruise line, because it wasn't the brand name Norwegian Cruise Line. They broke the mold and decided to go out and try their first cruise after the pandemic outbreak. What happened? They get out to sea a day or two into the voyage. A bunch of their cruise members come down with COVID-19, which kind of made everybody in the travel industry go, oh, spit. We didn't need to have that happen, right?
Yeah, they really didn't. And it just goes to show that the CDC That's one of the reasons they basically said no cruises yet, and have pushed those out to I believe it's to the end of September.
Yeah, I mean, it's, bottom line is nobody likes the shutdown, but it seems to happen every time somebody breaks the shutdown and tries something a little bit more adventurous, they end up getting in trouble. Witness our bars, and now all of a sudden a cruise line take a bunch of people out into a metal can, and what happens? They get sick. So, sometimes erring on the side of caution might be the smartest thing, even though economically it's a crummy set of circumstances.
Yeah, because think about, what did that cost them? It cost them a lot. Not only the cost of getting people out of there, but the goodwill that they will have lost because of it.
No, absolutely. And I noticed on my pre-market loser list that's definitely costing at least a couple of cruise lines that operate out of here. Norwegian Cruise Lines and Royal Caribbean are both down by almost 3% in some cases as far as pre-market trading is concerned. So the investment community evidently took note of that little news item as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's affecting those cruise lines across the board as they're staying at home, they're staying docked, and that's not good for their business.
Absolutely, and doesn't bode well for the future of the business for the short term either. What were those reports out this morning? Do we have any household names that we can tell folks about?
We do have a couple. Let me mention this first. This isn't an earnings report, but it did catch my attention and has caught a lot of people's attention this morning. Alphabet, which is Google, has made a significant investment in ADT, the alarm company. They invested $450 million for a 6.6% stake. And somewhere I saw a headline that said that ADT is up 80% this morning before the market opens.
Holy crud. Yeah, that actually makes some sense given the Google wired home adventures that they're into by a major security company. That ends up actually being probably some symbiosis that makes sense.
Yeah, it's up almost 70% right now. So, yeah, if you could have been foresighted on that one, that would have been a good deal.
Oh, yeah. Some insiders made a lot of money off of that if there were any.
Yep. So then we got Clorox, household name. You'd have thought they did really well, and they did on an earnings standpoint. They beat by a little over 40 cents a share. Revenue was strong, exceeded the forecast. Let's face it, they are in high demand given the COVID situation that we're in right now. But they're having some changeover in the C-suites. They named a new company president. The old president's going to be the executive chairman. And so I guess they're not liking that too much because they're trading down this morning 2.75% before the market opens up today.
Kind of the attitude of investors, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
I guess so. I mean, let's face it, they are butting up against their 52-week high, so maybe there's just some profit taking coming in there. But I found that interesting given they beat substantially across the board. The other one we have is Tyson Foods. Tyson, if we remember back, they had issues about their plants having COVID and other issues. They had a good quarter, though. They beat by about 45 cents a share. Revenue fell a little short, though, of what was expected when it comes to their beef and pork sales. Both declined double-digit numbers. So they had some changes in their C-suite also as we look at things going forward. But they are trading up 1% this morning before we start the trading.
With Tyson, the switch of chairs in the executive suite might not be a bad idea. They've got some damage control to undergo with what happened to their plants up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and a couple of places in Iowa where they just had hundreds of people get whacked.
Yeah, that's true. It could be a good thing there. And the last one I have is Capital One. And I think they've already reported their earnings, but they slashed their dividend by 10 cents a share from 40 cents down to 30 cents. So, a pretty big, they cut it to 10 cents down from 40%. So it was a 0.75% cut in their dividend. So you can imagine that's hurting their stock this morning. Friday, they closed down 1.6%. This morning, they're down another 0.6%.
Ouch. Yeah, I remember when they reported Capital One had one of the larger projected loan loss allowances of all the financials that we'd seen, which makes sense because they tend toward being a credit card company that'll give a Visa card to a turnip, right?
Exactly. I mean, they're a big credit card company. They're pretty loose when it comes to giving credit. So, yeah, you would expect that they're going to have a pretty big loan loss.
Understood. So we're looking at a day in which we had a decent Friday. As a matter of fact, a big one on NASDAQ. It was up by almost 1.5%. Dow was up by almost 0.5% on Friday. Standard & Poor's was up by 0.75%. We ended the week pretty good. 45 minutes before we open on a new week, Philip, what direction are we going today?
Dave, it's looking good this morning, man. We are up 0.5% or better across the board. The Dow's up $142. The S&P 500 is up 21. The NASDAQ's up 102. So everything is looking good this morning before we get going, even in the gold and silver market. Well, it just switched. Sorry. Yeah, one of those things, it switches as you breathe. So silver is up 0.8%. Gold is basically flat right now. Crude oil has a tinge of red to it, down to $40.20 a barrel.
Yeah, and that's a little bit lower than it was on Friday when we spoke, so that's not good news for the domestic oil industry. Overseas markets, by and large, mixed in Asia. Japan had a very good day, but the Hong Kong and mainland Chinese markets flat to off by a little bit. Europe generally up this morning, halfway through their day. Phillip, advice for stability, advice for how to make money in a market like this often takes a neutral set of eyes in order to get things straight. How do I find you for that neutral set of eyes?
If you want an independent look at your current portfolio, give me a call at 863-382-0037. Catch us on Facebook. All you have to do is search Statler Financial Services, like and follow us there. Check out our website. We just revamped it, statlerfinancial.com, and then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. at noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk 730.
And we stream that on the air on newstalk730am.com, just like we do this one, which we'll do again tomorrow morning here on Light. Fair enough?
Fair enough, man. You have a great day. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Phillip. Be well. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler.
Folks, I want again, thank you for joining us today. Hey, I want to make an announcement. We're going to start Fridays with Phillip. Coming up this Friday, we're looking at times, not sure yet, probably 11:30, but that's what we're looking at. If you'd like to register, call our office, 863-382-0037, and register for this Friday with Phillip, where we will talk about what's happened this week, what's happening in the markets. We will answer your questions. It's an open forum. We want to be there to help coach you through this terrible time that we're facing right now. So we'll be back on Friday, Fridays with Phillip. Call our office to register, 863-382-0037. Until tomorrow, have a great day.